Hi everyone, welcome back to A Sky Full of Stars, Divergence Route A, Episode 5. So it's been about a year since Hikari has left them, and in the absence of Hikari, it looks like everything is going well. So for Akito's astronomy club, he got one new member, and her name is Hinami. So at least his club is kind of sustainable. And it looks like the big Six Stars Club is still going. So in the middle of episode 4, Saya and Akito were going to go to the meeting, and it's once again being held at the Meikou Academy. So also we're kind of going into some of the more romantic parts of the story, and we learned that Saya, she still likes Akito, and near the end of episode 4, Akito had to decide whether or not he wants to go with Saya or he's still thinking about Hikari. So in the absence of Hikari, Saya thinks that they can kind of go a little bit deeper in their relationship. So let's see how it goes from here. And I forgot what happened, but anyways. Oh, okay, it's like, well, if I kind of move forward with Akito, then I may hurt Hikari, and I do know that Hikari kind of likes Akito as well. So Sai buried her face in tears, mumbling something that I couldn't hear. Then she became quiet. So I'm not allowed to say how I feel? So Sai just shook her head. So I think Sai is still concerned, like, well, even though I want to hear what he says, but I'm kind of feeling that he also wants Hikari as well, and he may be lying to say good words at me. So what an honest person. So isn't that a little unfair? Well, I get to know your feelings, but you don't get to know mine. Well, I'm sure Akito will answer much later in the individual character routes. So she turned away in frustration. Well, I guess she didn't see it as unfair. Well, okay then, so fine. So if you don't want to hear me, then that's okay. I sighed. Thinking about how Saya held onto those feelings for 4 years, I thought it was only a natural punishment for me to agonize over mine for a while. Alright, so we'll go back to how it always was. So just the three of us together? So is that okay? I subtly implied. Well, I didn't really think that was going to be easy. Okay? So I took one step closer to Saya and abruptly reached out my hand. Okay, so let's get together again, like how we used to. And Saya took one step back in shock. Hey, don't start running away from me. You wanted me to be normal, right? I guess so. So are we going to be different then? I tried to jokingly scare her. So what is it? So Sai started to tear up and put her head on my chest. And I just stroked her hair. Okay, good girl, good girl. Endure. So it's embarrassing for me too, you know. Okay. So I kept this up for a while and then I let Sai go. So are you okay now? Sai looked like she just got out of a sauna. Her face was red and she sighed deeply. So do you really think you can keep going on like nothing happened? So she kept turning back and forth. It was like she couldn't make up her mind. Okay, so what? So hey now, don't stop. So I wonder if there was someone else. I'm sure Saya or Akito knows what Sai is thinking of. Like, who might that someone else be? So as she paused there, she looked up at me. It was like she was asking if there was somebody. So even if you have someone else in mind, don't worry because I'll still be happy, okay? I frowned down at her. Well, it's nothing, you know? So even though she had asked me out, it felt more like I was being dumped. Aw, well fine then, so only if there is a girl that likes me. Well, I'm sure there are other girls that would like you, and I do find you special, I guess. Well, yeah, somehow. It really did feel like a breakup, though. And what happens next? Wait, what is he doing? Oh, just practicing how to be normal. I said bluntly, walking forward. So what did he do to Saya? Hey, wait for me! So Saya followed me as she fixed her twisted and mangled hair. What? And that's what happened. Okay, so we're back on the bus, heading to the Meikou Academy. So that had been about 10 months before. And after that, it wasn't like we could just go back to normal, even though we had been friends for a long time. And every time I thought about it, I just felt awkward. But slowly, I got used to it, and over time, things were getting back to normal. That's good. So right now, well, at first glance, we were just friends. And since then, Sai had never outwardly shown me how she had felt for nearly a year. And it was getting to the point where I was beginning to doubt about how she felt about me now. Well, that was a risky joke. Okay, so what's wrong? Nothing. Oh, by the way, So did you hear anything back from Hikari? So anything new about her? Saya shook her head, so no. So I wonder if Hikari forgot about what happened here, and she got too excited over her new place. Well, me too. I wonder what happened to her. So Hikari is overseas, and we hadn't seen each other for the entire time, but we were still keeping in contact over the net. So we sent messages, chat on the phone, and talk in the Six Stars Club group chat as well. But after a few days later, we lost contact, and I wonder why. So the internet over there wasn't so good, so we would lose the connections sometimes. But this was the longest that we gone without texting or talking. Okay, so well, we kind of got used to the fact that Hikari lives in a place where internet is pretty primitive. I was worried too, but we had no other way of getting in touch with her. Well, let's find out her family's contact info. Maybe if we ask Noriko, she would be able to tell us. So maybe Noriko has an idea. Oh, so the bus is here at the stop. Okay, so we stop right in front of the door labeled the Astronomy Club. And I remember this from the very beginning when Akito came here during his first time, and when he went inside the Astronomy Club room, if you remember, it was all dark, and Orihime was reading tarot cards to him. And it was really creepy. So let's see how it is this time. So he knocked and waited for a moment. Hi! And I wonder who it is. The door opened from the inside and I entered the room. Oh, please excuse us. Okay, so it's Honoka that's running the club this time. So, hello, Sarami-kun. Oh, thank you, Honoka. Oh, so Korona's here. So Korona came with Honoka to greet us. Hey, Korona, so you seem good. Yep. Oh, hello, Hinami. And likewise, Korona changes her mood when she sees Saya. So Korona added that with a hint of dissatisfaction. It's like, well, I didn't want you to be here anyways, but so Korona had come a long way, but at least now who was capable of saying hello to Saya. But for Saya, she's happy. She's like, hello, Korona. So I can sense that you're not feeling really well, Korona. Well, I'm pretty sure it's obvious, because Korona gave a pretty sour tone to Saya. So I can sense that you're trying to force a smile upon seeing Saya. Yeah, that's true, I guess. So the problem is that, well, I went to the Meikou Academy and I don't feel like I'm a fit here because everyone here is rich. Especially Orihime, if you remember. So, why do you apply here then, if you are concerned about rich girls all over the place? Because, so it seemed like Korona was suffering too. Well, no, you look good in your school uniform. Okay. So Korona wiggled into a pose and looked my way. So, at least Akito admires me in my new uniform. So I avoided her gaze. And she had just entered Meikou Academy this year. And this was the road that she had chosen, but I'm sure that joining the Six Stars Club and meeting Orihime and Honoka had something to do with this. She had joined the astronomy club right after she had entered the school and had been doing activities with Korona, or like Honoka. There you go. Well, I'm sure the question is, well, if Korona enjoyed being with Akito, she also had the option to apply to his school instead of this place. Well, I'm sure that's just part of what they do. And there are some good things with sunspots. So I wonder what Korona's thinking about. But in the best scenario, these magnetic storms can create auroras all over the sky. And I'm sure auroras are something that is worth mentioning and worth going to see. So you see all those greens, reds, all those waves of colors across the sky. Well, they might be completely different, but they do get along well. So by the way, so where's everyone else? Well, it'll be a little bit, so. And the first years went off to make tea. Then we waited for the other schools to show up. Okay.
それでは第11回むつら星定例会を始めたいと思います。
Okay. So that's how the current president, Honoka, started the meeting. And there were just 5 different schools gathered in the Meikou Academy's astronomy room.
では各校の活動状況の報告をお願いします。まずは西高さんから。
So I wonder which club opted out this time. Or which school? Okay, so we got some new members. So Toyoda, Nishi High's current president, stood up. So he was a pretty quiet-looking boy.
うちは先週遠出して富士山をバックに成形写真を撮影してきました。
Okay.
天体ガイドに投稿したので、もしかしたら来月号に載るかもです。
So basically, anything new that you want to report us that we can add to our blog or our website. So Toyoda looked proud of himself when everyone seemed amazed. So for the most part, Nishihai's focus on gadgets had been because of his focus on taking photos of celestial bodies.
それでは諸見沢工業さんどうぞ。
Okay, so next.
俺らは秋の星座の観望と星座神話をモチーフにしたポエム作りをやってました。
Okay, so another new person, new member. So let's see, Kawanakajima, the president of Moromisawa Astronomy Club, sounded tough, but if you listen to what he was talking about, well, he did seem a little rough.
秋の夜空といえば星座っす。エチオピア王家の物語を星空に描き思いを馳せるのは俺らモロコ天文部の最も楽しみにしてることっす。
Okay, but his topics were just so girly. It's like, well, he does look tough, but his topics, well, then again, it's good to be a little bit more laid back.
いつも素敵なポエムの投稿をありがとうございます。むつら星ブログの読者から今月も感想をいただきました。
Okay.
恐縮っす。
Oh, cool! That's great. They posted their poems on the blog every month, and a few of their fans had left their impressions. So I wonder how they feel about these poems. Like, how do the comments read? I was fairly certain that these fans thought that it was girls who were writing the poems, though. Okay? It was a tradition for Moromisawa to observe the constellations and do something romantic about them.
では、聖戦女子さん。
Okay, so how about the comic book girls? No, the Seisen girls.
はい。
So Sai stood up.
私たち聖戦女子天文部は諸見沢工業天文部の皆さんから送っていただいた神話ポエムにイラストをつけていました。
Okay, so at least we're useful, so we illustrate all those poems.
あざーす。
Cool! Awesome! So, Kawanakajima stood up, veiled and bowed suddenly, scaring Sai. It's like, well, that's great. So, adding pictures really helps us.
僕は私も時々星の第一天文部の皆さんと天体観測をしていました。以上です。
Okay, well, I don't think that part is important because I'm sure the other girls are helping out in some ways. It's just that I'm sure that Sai's kind of afraid of the Moromisawa boys commenting and giving all these praises.
いつも素敵なイラストをありがとうございます。と部員の方々にお伝えください。
Okay?
おかげでサイトが華やぎます。
I'm sorry, I went too fast. So the Seisen Girls Astronomy Club designed the Six Stars Club mascot and drew illustrations of it.
では、星野大地さん。
Okay, so now it's Akito's turn. Okay, so we've been observing sunspots during the day and have gone looking at the stars every now and then. So sunspots are observed during the daytime, so it was something easy for students to do. I didn't know how to reply to Korona's dissatisfaction with them, but once you started it, it was quite addictive. And besides, you could use those daytime techniques to look at Venus or Mercury. It definitely was something an astronomy club should do. Anyways, it was a good chance to let Hinami do some astronomical activities. So the things that it's easy, so it's something that Akito can use to get Hinami started with astronomy.
それでは最後に、私たち明光学院天文部ですが、先月同様、惑星観測を継続してやっています。
Okay, so for us, we've been doing this. So after Meikou Academy's report were all done. So it looks like the club or the school that's absent is Ama High, the school that Noriko or previously Hikari went to. So Noriko had retired in the summer, and since they didn't have any new people, Ama High's astronomy club was suspended due to no active members. Oh. So, I wonder why Noriko quit. So Nishi High's Narue and Momisowa's Keisuki had also retired, but those two schools had younger members to take over their clubs. So everyone was seriously short on members, and we're barely doing any activities now. So I think for Narue and Keisuke, it's because they're now third year students and they're busy working on what they're going to do next after they graduate. Wait, so I think that's the same reason why Noriko retired. So after each school had reported in, it was time for the Six Stars Club report.
すでに資料はお送りしていたと思います。
So everyone took out their phones and tablets and pulled up the documents that Honoka sent. It contained all the Six Stars Club achievements and blog traffic information for the last month.
アクセス数だいぶ減っちゃったね。
So without the really powerful figures, it looks like it's hard to make this attractive, especially now that there's one less club in play.
目立った活動がないですからね。
And that's what the aftermath is. So when we had posted the manufacturing journal of Pleiades, let's see, the Pleiades one, something curious had happened and we kept getting more views. And after that, we reached our peak with the first Light event and then started losing views, and now we're getting less than half of the hits of our peak.
今のままじゃアピールが足りないっす。何かでかいことをやらないと。
So what other ideas do they have? It was just as Toyoda and Kawanakajima said. So we hadn't done anything big with the Six Stars Club recently. And just holding some stargazing events every now and then wasn't too appealing to outsiders. Well, I guess the group was starting to get a little dull. And reading the room, Honoka started to speak.
やはりそろそろ動かしたいですね。例の計画を。
So I guess we need some new ideas and a new plan going forward. So Project Starlight? I cautiously said the name.
天文に注目が集まってる今がチャンスだよ。
So what's Project Starlight? So everyone nodded at Korona's comment. And there had been a bit of a boom for astronomy this year, all because of a certain astronomical event that was predicted to happen. Well, not the usual stuff like passing comets, something more well-founded. So the Six Stars Club would be able to ride this boom, and we would show everyone just how fun astronomy really was.
もう1ヶ月ほどしか時間がありません。ここは動くべきかと。
So what's this event? Yeah. So Sai looked at me with a worry as I looked troubled. I wanted to go ahead with this plan, however, there was a reason why I was hesitant. And the ever so vital project leader was currently missing. Okay, so it feels like we need someone here to help us get this Project Starlight going.
やっちゃおうよ。
But we can start anyways without that person.
そうっす。リーダーが帰ってくるのを待ってたら間に合わなくなるっす。
Okay?
やるならなるべく派手めでお願いします。その方が来年の部員集めが楽になるので。
So Nishihai didn't have a single new member this year, so the numbers had dropped by 3. Okay, so let's start with whoever is actually here then.
そういえばここ数日ひかりさんと連絡が取れないのですが、何かご存知ではないですか？
So Sai and I looked at each other. Well, we don't know. So we're in the same boat as you.
メッセージを送ってもずっと未読のままで、何かあったんでしょうか？
So about that, we have a favor to ask. So, is it possible you can get in touch with Noriko? We think that Noriko knows how to contact her family. So Noriko had been in the same school as Hikari, so it shouldn't be too hard to ask teachers or classmates on how to contact Hikari's family.
わかりました。聞いてみます。
Okay, so I can try. So Project Starlight was a plan to promote astronomy across the entire city. Oh, so it's an even bigger project than before. So instead of having all the big schools in the area combined together, they're going to go to the whole city. And the star who came up with the plan was currently not with us. There you go. So it's Hikari. So we had been waiting for her to return before acting on our plans, but as Honoka said, we hadn't heard from Hikari in a few days.
お、やった。
So wait, what happened next?
ね、かっこいいでしょ？
So the meeting had been going for a while, so Hinami and Nishihai's girl had become bored and were fooling around on their phones.
そこの1年生、何をしているんですか？会議中ですよ。
Uh-oh, not good.
怒られた。
Oops. So I guess we weren't supposed to be on our phones during the meeting.
すいません。何見てたの？
Wait, so what are you doing on the phone then? So what's exciting?
あのね、草壁さん、コメットガールって知らない？コメットガール？知らない。コンソメ味っぽいね。お菓子？
Wait, so comment girl or comment girl?
コメット、彗星？
So what about the comment girl or something?
昨日くらいからネットで話題になってるんです。先輩たちも見てみてくださいよ。
Oh yeah, so Takeichi had been talking about that right before he left. Well, just like passing comments, something will go viral, but the net will quickly move on to another or something else.
どれ？見せて。
So what is it?
コロナさん。
Hey, so once again, this is a club meeting and not time for being on your smartphones. So Honoka's angry warning stopped Korona in her tracks. Okay, so Akito's like, okay, so Hinami, let's save that for another, or after the meeting.
ごめんなさい。
Okay, I'm sorry.
すいません。
So he talked about the latest astronomical news, complained about our budgets, and how nobody recognized us. It became a pretty boring meeting. And I wonder how long the meeting has lasted. Because if it's an hour, I'm sure people will get bored. And given that there's no exciting news, it is natural that we would look for something more exciting to do. And that's usually going to our smartphones and playing games and messaging going online. So, in summary, everyone's struggling.
そうだね。
西高は今年も 今日新入部員入ったし、ひとまず安泰って感じだよな。
Well, it's good for now, but I'm sure in the future it's going to be a problem still.
ジンの先輩から来年は絶対2人以上新入部員を獲得しろって言命されてるから辛いよ。
Okay. So Toyoda was rubbing his chest.
うちもコロナさんが入ってくれましたが、来年のことを思うと不安になります。
So why? So even the members who only show up for these astronomical shows had retired. So right now there was only Honoka and Korona in the Meiko's club. So well, after Hinami joined my club, I'm finally starting to understand what Orihime was telling me about. So I need to find a way to help the club survive for Hinami. And I almost painfully understood the president's, well, the one before me, predicament when he allowed me to join, even though I wouldn't look at the stars. I was finally starting to care about the club, similar to Nishihai and Morimisawa, who actually did regular club activities. But still, if there were no new members, the club would disband, and the few clubs with members left over would be limited to what they could do. And the Sixers Club had been a lifesaver. It went beyond one school and gathered people one place where we could do real astronomy. And because of that, we could be more confident when inviting members.
みんなのためにも早く始めたいね。プロジェクトスターライト。
Well, me too.
何やってんのさ、ピカリンは。
So Hikari comes up with this idea, but stays quiet, and we pretty much have to do the rest. So Honoka looked at the clock on the wall.
だいぶ時間を使ってしまいましたね。そろそろ出ましょうか。
Okay, so it looks like we spent too much time. So the sun's going to set if we don't get a move on. So everyone started leaving the astronomy room according to each club's president's orders. So outside, the clear autumn sky stretched far and wide. And the forecast said it'd be a moonless night with no chance of rain until morning. And tomorrow was Saturday, so we didn't have to go to school. We couldn't pass up such a perfect opportunity for stargazing. And today's Six Stars Club meeting was the first observation meetup we had in a while. Okay. So that was Toyoda from Nishihai after reaching the top of the slope.
情けねえぞ、トヨダ。女子を見習え。
Okay.
休んでる暇はありませんよ。日が沈む前に準備してしまわないと。
So winter was coming and the days were getting shorter. And the Pleiades 1 had to be ready for observation before it got dark. So come on, let's go. So we're almost there. I was short of breath too, but I took the lead and started to walk.
行くぞ、トヨダ。ほら、肩貸してやっから。
Come on, almost there. Just a little bit more.
わかったから引っ張らないでくれよ。
Okay, come on. You don't need to push me that hard. You know, So they climbed a bit further and entered the forest. And the Pleiades 1 was being kept in the old train car that served as our storeroom. It was only light compared to the retail telescopes, and the mirror box containing the primary mirror was especially heavy. And since we couldn't move it by car, I wanted to keep it as close to the observation spot as possible. Hey, I'm Saya, so what do you notice? So after we entered the forest, Saya held on tight to my arm as she waited, but her eyes were glued to her phone the whole time. So I think she's waiting for Hikari to answer. It's like, I wonder when she will respond to us. Hey, you'll fall over if you keep looking like that. It's like, come on, watch your step. Don't be too focused on the cell phone, hoping for a response. Yeah, okay. Uh-oh. I told you so. So I caught her just as she was about to fall. So, what are you looking at so intently? Okay, so the conversation earlier is like, well, there's this girl, blah 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 blah. I forgot the details. Oh, so she gave me this link and I wanted to see what it is. So still, let's see. So she was one of Science's friends at school. So that story's really making the rounds, huh? Is it that interesting? So intrigued, I sneak a look at Sai's phone. So, I wonder what Sai's looking at. So skimming the article from an angle, I learned that Comic Girl was a student apparently. Okay. And the mysterious girl had swiftly appeared to save a trembling kitten trapped on the road and then swiftly vanished. Uh-oh. So someone had uploaded a partial video of the event, and that's how the story had spread. Wait, so no one knows who she is, but the name Comic Girl has stuck thanks to the impact of her kitten rescue, as well as her twin ponytails. I'm sure that gives a little clue about who this person is. So I played the video embedded in the article. Okay, so there's a kitten trembling in the middle of a 4-lane road, cars zooming past it on both sides. It wasn't clear how it had gotten there. Well, maybe the cat was walking around and I had no idea that it was in the middle of a street. And the person filming the video had come across the kitten and sounded very agitated. Even though it was afraid of the cars, the kitten looked like it was about to make a dash for it at any moment. And just watching it made me flustered too. Well, damn it! Come on! So go save it already! And just then, something entered the frame. So who is it? Someone rather, a girl, but she ran with amazing speed. And weaving through the tiny gaps between cars, she picked up the trembling kitten while running. Alright. I'm sure this is a big giveaway about who this person is. I realized my fists were clenched. And with the twin ponytails trailing behind her, the girl ran across the road and disappeared. It was a dramatic video from the initial anxiety to the girl's sudden appearance, and the word swift definitely captured that impact. No wonder it was spreading online. However, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm sure Akito knows that. Wait a minute, that it's not right. There's something else about the video. I was watching the video for the first time, but somehow I got a sense of deja vu. Wait a minute, that girl. The way she ran straight towards her target, that familiar Amaha uniform, and those long twin ponytails. It was a low quality video, but despite the blurred images, I knew who she was. Wait a minute. So, that's Hikari, right? Wait, what the heck was going on? And Sai can detect it too. Sai spoke in a whisper as if she didn't believe it. But the girl in the video was Hikari, no doubt about it. Which meant the identity of the online sensation dubbed Comic Girl was in fact Hikari. So it had been a while since we saw her. Hey, so why are you stopping here? I suddenly realized that we had fallen far behind from the rest of the group. Okay, I got it. So you raced to catch up with everyone else. Well, I guess that's how Hikari, or like how she usually is. Yeah, well, that's Hikari for you. It was amazing how one comment of Saya's made sense of the whole crazy situation. So such things were possible when it came to Hikari. And according to everyone, people had only started talking about Comic Girl yesterday. And after that, the article was written yesterday, and it said the video had been taken that morning. Wait, hold on. So something isn't right. Wait, so that can't possibly be her over there. So I wonder the location of the video, like where was it taken? So Toyoda reached the platform first, and he sounded like he seen a ghost or something. So everyone turned to follow his eyes. And there was someone there. A girl in uniform was sitting on the roof of the train car. If it'd been dark out, you probably could have mistaken her for a ghost. That's true. So Hinami looked at the girl and shouted out loud. Wait a minute, it's the Comic Girl! So both of them had been online during the meeting, and you could hear the amazement in their voices. Yes, so everything was the same as the video. She wore an Amaha uniform and her long twin ponytails danced in the wind. Wait, so is she the Comic Girl? But that is... So she must have heard us talking because Comic Girl turned around to face us. I wonder if it would be more mysterious if when she heard her name, she would disappear into the bushes, never to be seen again. What? Hey, so what are you doing here then? Hikari? So looking at her surprised faces, Hikari smiled smugly and stood up. And for her next comment, she faced us fully. Okay. So as usual, no one knew what the bingo was for, but that smug look and the V sign were unmistakably Hikari's. So without a word, Hikari got off the train car roof and landed lightly on the platform. At the same time... Okay, so, come on, stop calling me Pikarine.
その呼び方をするんじゃない。
There you go.
やっぱりピカリンだ。
So it's obviously you. Only you would beat me up for calling you Pikarine. Wait, so you? So noticing Saya's gaze, Hikari smiled broadly. And likewise, Hikari is excited to see Saya again.
会いたかったよー、私もだよ、ヒカリ。
So surviving Hikari's glomp somehow, Saya looked so happy she almost cried.
よしよしよしよし、いい子いい子。私コタちゃんじゃないんだよ。
Hey, by the way, I'm not the dog Kotaro. Come on, Hikari.
秋田。
Yes? So Hikari disentangled herself from Saya and turned to face me. So seeing each other after a year brought up all kinds of thoughts, but our feelings couldn't catch up. Welcome, but...
申し訳ないですが、そういうのは後にしてください。
Well, unfortunately, we have something to do. We're busy, so leave all the reunions for some other time. Okay, so I'll cut the episode here. And yes, it's kind of bad that Honoka had to interrupt them. It's like, well, we're busy. We got a plan tonight. So more importantly, I could see that Hikari was trying to replicate what she did last year. So the comic girl is similar to what Hikari did with the Komako office lady, and her being on the train, that was similar to what happened when Akito drifted off into the woods in the beginning, and so that was the time when Orihime, Honoka, and Noriko were doing stargazing. And when Akito went off to the forest, he went back to the train car, and he saw Hikari. And in that time, he didn't even recognize who she was. Until Hikari's like, wait a minute, you're Akito, right? And her voice was the giveaway. So we'll see what happens next, and I wonder how Hikari's going to reunite with everyone this time around. And with that in mind, I'll see you in the next episode.